Happy Halloween from Two Fans, One Pod. I'm Alex. This is Brandon. You guys,
Yep.
I'm old enough at this point where Halloween scares me for a different set of reasons. Interaction with adults who are parents, having to deal with children, especially in local neighborhood. I don't know how your neighborhood works, but mine is flooded with children with negligent parents. I'm just gonna be completely honest. These kids are kicking soccer balls at 90 miles an hour at my car.
So trick or treaters come around? Is the house all the lights are off? No candy's given out.
I mean, it's not.
Are you the house that's ready to give out candy? Do you even have candy, Alex? Do you have candy ready to give out?
You know, the HOA, they basically have these set of rules. If your lights are on in the front porch, your house is open for business. And you know what? One year I bought 2 big bags of candy. This was like my first or second year in this house. New homeowner here. But I was excited. I was like, cool, I get to be part of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And left
Start off on the right foot.
Did not get a single knock all night. Didn't get anything. That's okay. No problem. The candy is great. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But no, after that I was like, okay, cool. Then I started realizing the kids here aren't the greatest. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Halloween more as the community
Not your
aspect.
cup of tea.
Still like the
Okay.
vibes. Love the vibes. Actually, I had a movie night with a couple of people over to watch some horror movies the other night. That was awesome. What about you? Do you do Halloween? Do you do the candy thing?
It's all right. I have a sweet tooth, so like as far as like the candy and like the snacks and all that, I love that aspect of it. I was always the kid that was I would trick or treat for too long. My parents were calling my phone like, get your ass back home. It's midnight. Nobody's opening the door to you. But yeah, Halloween's fun. Now that I'm older, it's an adult. It's a lot of hoopla. It's like just a lot going on.
Do you have a
It's a lot
favorite
going on,
candy?
but it can be fun. Favorite candy? Anything gummies, any sour gummies are really good. I like the new sour Skittle gummies. Those are really fun.
So not a
The
chocolate
Lifesavers
type.
gummies are fun. I like chocolate.
Okay.
I like anything.
And candy corn?
Candy corn I'll crush.
Oh. Okay.
All
I
of
would
it.
say that's an unpopular
Licorice.
opinion.
That might be the only one. Licorice might be the only one that I'm
You know
like,
what?
no.
I feel like licorice is an older generation candy.
I don't.
You know, and caramels and stuff like that. I consider it part of that.
I like the
generation.
little butterscotch joints,
But that's more of a nostalgic thing because of our grandparents. I'm convinced.
That's grandma.
Halloween, spooky season. Okay. I will say, even though the slate of games is not as spectacular as we would want, aren't these usually the weekends when like everybody is like, oh, the slate of games are ass, like everyone's
And it's gonna be
it's gonna be a couple upsets. I feel like there could be some monumental upsets that happen this weekend, because that's
Very
always
possible.
it's always the quiet weekends where they want to spice things up. What is going on in the coaching carousel world? I know that there's names that are being tied to various positions. The hierarchy of the coaching jobs that are available, we know what it is. It's LSU, and then it's a fight between Florida and Penn State, whether you're from the north or the south.
It's a
frankly.
fight?
I would say, depending on your background and what you consider to
I
be
agree.
closer, like
Yeah.
you'll say Penn State if you're from more north, and you'll say Florida definitely if you're more south. At one point, you could make the argument that, Penn State was completely separated from the rest of the college football world. And, back in 2012, they had a slight resurgence. They really did. And they got themselves back into a national championship conversation. I mean, they went to the semifinals last year. And they did have an easy route, but they still won all those games, and they still covered, for the record. I think that Penn State's job it should be as revered as Florida. They have enough money.
Yeah.
They're
They're one of the powerhouses in that region. It's them, Ohio State,
But we need to
Michigan.
We're in a completely different place with college
Conference.
football. Like, in
Yeah.
my opinion, I think that Indiana is a great example of why the old way of viewing our, which teams have the power and which don't, everything's about money. You pay enough. I mean, if you can pay enough, if you can put enough money into your program, Indiana has shown that you can win games. That's all it takes. And that's
Indiana,
it is
Texas Tech,
Yeah.
Texas A&M. Like,
look at Texas A&M, another fantastic example. I mean, granted, Mike Elko, I really like the culture he's building there too. Same with Kurt Signetti. You have to have a good head coach. But frankly, you just have to have a head coach that's good enough. Texas A&M was kind of mediocre last year. They started off hot and then they finished the season kind of dry. And Mike Elko's name went out of and all of a sudden he's back in the picture because what are they, 7-0, 8-0, and they won at LSU at night.
Crazy.
I don't know. I'm very
there's a lot going on. Yeah. It's I saw that there was one rumor that James Franklin and Virginia Tech are very close. Apparently, they're in talks. I don't know if you saw Matt Rule, his extension. He got a 2-year extension with Nebraska,
okay.
so that
That's
also
amazing
changes the
news,
search.
actually.
Yeah, I know that's sigh of relief for you.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful news.
So there was that as well. I'm excited to see like the lesser known guys get hired. Like I'm excited to see like the offensive coordinator from, I don't know, some SEC school becoming the head coach at who knows, maybe if Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss. There's going to be a lot of movement. It's going to be crazy to watch and follow. I really like the North Texas head coach. He's done a great job. I mean, their quarterback is like leading, college football like in all the major statistical categories, and he was a walk-on, I believe. I don't think he ever started a high school football game. That was the quote or whatever that they were all referencing. There's been a lot. I don't know if you saw the Scott Woodward take too. The AD of LSU, or the AD of LSU is Scott Woodward, but the governor of LSU came out and said all that. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you. And I think the AD of LSU, Scott Woodward, has been relieved of his duties. So I think there's. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on.
I know for sure he will not be involved in the head coaching search, but is he out as AD as well?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I need to double check.
Okay. I know for sure the governor explicitly said that Woodward's not going to be involved with the decision making, and that's to be expected. I think he hasn't been hitting recently as of late. And granted, Colorado's kind of looking shaky this year. I think the idea of putting a committee together and using that committee to Colorado did well. I think Dion is actually a great fit with that program. Granted, again, this year, kind of shaky. I ran into some information. I ran into this small tidbit, like I think it was a YouTube short maybe. Mike Vick apparently had to let go of like his offensive staff because they started off the season like real rough. I think they're like 1-6 or something like that.
They're 1-7.
I do like that some teams are giving opportunities to, random former players that might potentially bring their culture. I think that's what they're banking on, right? I mean, obviously they have the playing expertise in their position, whatever it may be. Mike Vick, I'm sure he's going to be a great quarterback developer. But I don't know why. It feels like if you can find a better segue rather than going deep into one AA or one AAA. I don't know. The coaching pool is it's not great this year.
It's not.
I mean, it makes me nervous.
But what and I agree. I think as far as like the available head coaches that are known to people like you and I, the average college football viewer, that pool might be a little limited. But that's what I was saying. I'm excited to see all the unknown guys that get called up to make a name for themselves and to take over a big program, whether they're offensive coordinator or a head coach at a small school like the Tulane head coach, the USF head coach. Another hire that I really like is the JMU head coach. That JMU AD, I mean, he needs something. He needs a statue or something because he's gotten like 3 hires right in a row. Like each coach that they've had has delivered like great results and then gone on to deliver even better results at their next school. I'm excited to see what the JMU head coach does. He has a great program.
Okay. Next up in line. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Again, the coaching carousel this offseason.
Crazy. It's gonna be nuts. I can't wait. I love this type of shit.
Yeah. Where does Lane end up? Where does James
Brian Kelly's at Michigan State.
I mean, probably a better fit than LSU.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Gosh.
What did I say on the pod with Brandon? I said James Franklin, but we're going Brian Kelly.
I will say, I reached out to one of the comments early in the season we were getting kind of torched for a take on Brian Kelly not being a good head
Oh,
coach.
yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not even going to say nothing.
No, it's okay. I actually had a lot of respect. The guy acknowledged that he was wrong. His take on Brian Kelly was wrong. And for the record, Brian Kelly is a bad head coach. Look at all these videos that are surfacing of him treating his players or his staff awfully. I mean, the sideline stuff, I've seen Nick Saban tear into his defensive coordinator and offensive. I've seen that happen. I've seen him cuss out Lane Kiffin on the sideline before. So, like, I see it happen, but it's just like the fact that Notre Dame does not have any respect for him after all the years that he was there, I think that shows a lot. I don't really think Cincinnati is like holding on to ties with him. Also, Cincinnati doing great. They have no reason to reach out to him. I don't know. It's really, I think a lot of people were hip, but not enough to Brian Kelly. Okay, let's see. USC at Nebraska. We're going to hop right into Big Ten. And this is, you can make the argument this is the only Big Ten game worth watching. And I know, here we are. We're week 10, right? Yeah, week 10. Yes. Penn State, Ohio State, the game that everyone had circled for months and months. And the offseason, we were like, yeah, this is it. James Franklin, is he going to be able to finally win the big game? That's what it was going to be. It was a narrative for Oregon. He couldn't do it, lost the team. And then the team parted ways with him. And now, anyway, let's get into the game. Totally almost went on a complete tangent there. Sorry, Penn State fans, to those of you listening. I know you guys know my feeling, okay? Do not. USC at Nebraska. This is an interesting game. 5.5. They were at 6.5. Now they're at 5.5. Nebraska as a home dog. It's a night game. The line is shifting towards... I mean, it
Nebraska,
almost,
right?
It almost looks like they want you to take USC bad here. Okay, I have the stats up on the screen for Brandon and I. The big things that I see, they raised the three. These are the big three questions I have for this matchup. Okay, is Nebraska going to stop the run?
Yeah, that's really what it is.
That's what this. I mean, the run game, and this is unheard of, I would say, for a Lincoln Riley team over the past few years. But the run game here is elite. Yeah. They're number 7 in the country, 6 yards a rush. That is absurd. And it just so happens that Nebraska on D is giving up almost 5 yards a carry. So really, we understand that Nebraska has that pass defense. We know. They have that elite pass defense. Top, what is it? They've allowed second least amount of yards. Granted, their strength of schedule is not nearly as close as USC. But, I mean, still, you have to credit that pass defense. So the question, are they going to get it? I don't know. You'll keep USC out of the red zone, obviously. If you can force them to be one-dimensional and then play against that pass defense, maybe. USC has had an issue with turnovers. I think that is the one thing lingering on this offense. The only red bar I see is the number of times they're giving the ball away. Jaden Mayava, it's the same conversation we were having late last year. It's like, I don't know if he's a good fit because he keeps throwing the ball to the other team. Granted, they did have a couple of fumbles too, so we're not exclusively blaming Jaden Mayava, but this is a team that will take... I mean, they will take the ball. If given the opportunity, they will take advantage of mistakes. Can USC limit their turnovers? And then also Nebraska, they have to be two-dimensional too.
Yes.
How do they do that? Can they run? Can they run against this D realistically?
I think
it's not an elite run D. It's not an elite.
It's not an elite run D.
It's really not.
If Nebraska can, I think the two ways for Nebraska to cover or seal a victory in this game is if they are able to establish the run game and the passing game in their offense, and they're able to just get in this, shootout with Nebraska, in which they ultimately win. I could see that being a possibility. Because, USC, as you mentioned, has the tendency to turn the ball over. So if they're able to capitalize on that, that's one, method of victory. The other one, I think, is it's if they're able to, I guess, allow USC to because I think what USC is going to do at the beginning of this game is try to establish that run game to open up their passing game. So if they're able, if they're able to kind of contain the run game, not even fully stop it, but just contain it to the point where they can't run all over you, so that way you can rely on your pass defense a bit. You force those 3rd and 6s, those 3rd and 4s, really make them throw the ball, 2nd and 12, whatever it is. That could also be a possibility. Like you're saying, I think that the public and Vegas and the lines makers and whatever, they want us to take USC here. But USC also does have the benefit of their strength of schedule on their end. They were just, Nebraska just struggled against Northwestern. Michigan did beat Nebraska, but honestly, I'm a Michigan fan, but it wasn't that impressive a victory for Michigan, and it wasn't, Nebraska, I think, could have won that game for sure.
Yeah,
they should have, in my opinion.
Yeah. USC kind of out-physicaled Michigan, which they could potentially, if that version of USC goes on the road to Lincoln and is able to do that at night, maybe I think they walk away. They are crazy. They do not allow tackles for loss on offense. They're like one of the lowest in the country. I think it's 4 per game, which is like top 25. And they still get after the quarterback. A lot of their stats got juiced because they didn't really have great quality of game. But with some of these wins they've racked up, they have a good strength of schedule. Those stats mean a lot. They need to they need to stay tidy. That includes also with penalties. They have kind of an issue, over 6 penalties a game. They need to play tidy. No turnovers, no penalties. They can walk away with the win. Now, the 5.5. Nebraska are cover gods, bro. I don't know say what you want to say, but they cover. And they'll get garbage time points to make sure they cover. That's why I'm riding Nebraska here, because they are so good at covering in garbage time.
Nebraska is one of those teams that definitely they compete till the very end. I like that a lot. I think that they're hype with the Matt Rule extension too. A lot of the noise has been silenced. They can focus on this game. I do think that the Northwestern game, that was a trap game. I don't think they were too focused on that. I think they were preparing for this game.
Yeah, 100% they were looking forward to this game.
So, this is gonna be a good one. This should be the best matchup.
Okay. So we like Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Penn State, Ohio State. Go ahead.
I was gonna say
you go first.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell me what you think about this game. Tell me. You know what? Forget the spread.
I was gonna say
yeah. Let's not even talk about the spread here. Let's talk about these two programs, where they are. You tell me, what do you see here in these two teams?
I see an Ohio State team that is the best team in college football. And they are, wiping out every opponent that they've played. They haven't played, the Oregon or the Tech, or they have played Texas, excuse me. But those tougher tier opponents, they haven't gotten there yet. But they've beaten some worthy Big Ten opponents. Penn State, this time in the off, or not this time last year, but in the off season, going into this season, this was supposed to be like a top 3 matchup. This was like, I believe, like Penn State was number 2, Ohio State might be number 1 at the time of the off season. So this is going to be interesting.
It's crazy how this season played out.
You know what? I feel like if this game was played in Happy Valley, I really could see an upset here just based off of the talent on the roster. It's still there. The talent on the Penn State roster is still very much present. And it's one of those games where I feel like if I'm a player on the team, what do I have to lose? I'm playing the best team in college football. How damn sick would it be?
They don't have that pressure.
They don't have. There's no
James
pressure.
Franklin's gonna mess up with his,
Just go out there and let them play.
Yeah.
Rip it. So I'm not too familiar with how their new quarterback is doing. And just like the overall, just how the team has been flowing. I'm sure you can speak better to that than I can.
I'm going Ohio State here, unfortunately, though.
Yeah,
they're just such a good team, and it's in the shoe.
Yeah, and you're taking them to cover. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
19.5. I see this. I'm gonna do the same thing. It's down to 19.5. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's down to 18.5. I'm looking at it live right now.
On Saturday, like right after the games, it was 19.5. I believe it moved to 20 or 21, and now you're saying it's back down to 18.5, 19.5.
It's down to 18.5, and it'll probably keep dropping. And I think that's just because they want to even out the money right now. I think because of how this season has played out for Penn State, a lot of people are saying that this is the Super Bowl for Penn State. This is going to be their big game, of the year, reasonably.
I think so.
Yeah. And they'll treat it like that. I'm sure they will.
They have to play Indiana, right, as well?
They have to play Indiana. They get them at home. I think that
But
game's
this
a wash
is
for them. I think
yeah,
Indiana's too
This
dominant.
is more yeah.
This feels like because they have history with the team. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it's so funny. When I wrote these notes, it was 19 and a half. It's at 18 and a half now as I'm looking at it. Is Penn State secondary going to show up? They have some guys in that secondary. And I'm not saying that it's a bad pass defense. It's one of the best pass defenses in the league. Actually, I have it as top 5 right
I still
now.
stand by. It's one of the best defenses in the league.
It has the potential. The run game has been absolutely destroying them. So the way, this is not, you're not playing against, a couple of Northwestern wideouts, and I'm not trying to discredit anyone on the Northwestern program. You guys beat us handily. This is like NFL players. 3
Heisman
NFL
caliber players.
Heisman caliber NFL starters
First
next
rounders.
year.
Yep.
Players. Can they show up and play against that? They're going to play man. It's going to be a lot of man-D. They're going to do it.
So that means they have to double Jeremiah. So they're willing to lose to Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
And there's another guy. Damn,
Ennis.
I'm blanking out. But yes, thank you.
Brandon Ennis.
Yeah.
I again, all 3 of those players are going to be in the NFL next year, should they choose to. I don't know, obviously pending their age and eligibility all that good stuff.
And all that. Yeah.
So is the Penn State secondary going to show up? Is Penn State going to get a third down stop? Are they? Right now, Penn State is 84th in the country on third down D, and Ohio State is 8th in the country on third down offense. It's a tough matchup. So is Penn State going to get a stop? They did not get a stop last year. They couldn't get a stop 2 years ago either. And granted, it was last year they had a ton of studs. They had, 14 NFL players. The year before that, they had Marvin Harrison just cutting us up. And then finally, does Penn State care? Are they going to care? Are they going to actually show up and care? I think even with their blood, sweat, and tears, with those 2 quarterbacks that they're rotating back and forth, they're not going to be.
Is that what's going on? They're rotating between the 2?
Yeah, the third string, and you'll have to forgive me because I don't remember his name, but the third string that they brought in and at Kinnick a couple of times was like a design runner. They would only use him on run plays. I think he threw a couple times just for fun. But I think they're going to rotate back and forth between the 2 because Grunkenmeyer is more of a pocket passer. I'm going to abstain. I'm not going to take the spread. I never touch Penn State games. You guys know that.
I get it.
But there's ever a game to avoid it, it's this game. Penn State might cover, but I also see Ohio State winning by 20 on the dot, 21 on the dot. I can see that happening too. Okay, finally, Indiana at Maryland. Again, the slate, not great. 21-point dogs at home. Maryland. Talk to me about this game. This is your team.
This is my
We're
team.
We're going up to go. You got the tickets for the Michigan game.
I got the
talk
tickets.
about
We're
it.
going to see Michigan, Maryland. Yes, I am very hyped for that. Very hyped for that atmosphere, that stadium. You know who I'm riding with. Like it's a guarantee. And I know that Indiana is everybody's wagon, but this is my wagon. Okay. So,
you know who else treats Maryland like a wagon is SVP.
Oh yeah,
he
went
went
there.
I think he went to Maryland.
Yeah.
That's why. But he loves
he's
the.
awesome.
I literally first thing I do Sunday morning is I listen to the SV pod about college football with him and Stanford.
Really?
First thing in the morning when I wake up.
Did you know he does how he does the SVP at night after the game ends?
Yes. Yeah.
You know he does that in DC.
No, he doesn't. You're lying.
He loves DC because he's from the area. He embraces it.
That's awesome.
He does everything.
I love that.
Right?
No, I
He's
love
the
that.
coolest.
I actually love that. Dude, SVP is the man. I love that guy. Okay, so
But
talk
yeah,
to me.
I
Maryland.
like Maryland.
You're
Yeah,
the
I think
okay.
obviously, I think the key here is for Maryland's offense to start off on the right foot, which they have done in several games. The issue is what happens, near the end of the game or the fourth quarter, the second half. We see everything kind of go to shit. The thing is with this spread, I don't see that being the case here. I see them going into this game understanding that even if they have a lead, you cannot take your foot off the gas. This is Maryland's biggest home game this season. I believe the game against might have been Washington was like sold out crowd, and I'm hoping and expecting that the fan base brings that same type of energy for this game because I mean Maryland's a great program, great players. Their defense looks good. Like they have a formidable team on both sides of the ball. They have legit receivers, they have legit weapons on offense, and then on defense they have guys that can stop the run. I love both of their DNs. It's a young team. So that's the biggest scare. You know, all the guys that are making plays out there are young and are prone to making mistakes. So the biggest thing here for me is Maryland watching out in terms of turning over the ball, and they need to put together, these nice, cohesive, consistent drives where not only are you able to put points on the board, but you need to burn the clock. Those are basically my keys to success or to covering for Maryland. I don't think they win this game, but I do think that they cover. Let's go Malik Washington. Man.
Maryland is
Come on.
94th in the country in time of possession, by the way, in case you were curious.
Yeah, I know. I saw all the red and I just
ignored it.
Block
Okay, so before we dive into Maryland real quick, I just want to tell you a fun story about -21. That specific spread. Okay? To those of you who have been sports gambling for a minute, basically since it was available to us, 2 years ago, Deion Sanders and his brand new fancy team was like 3-1 or 2-2, came off a double overtime win against Colorado State. And they had a very specific spread going into Autzen against Oregon, and a team that was filthy with Bo Nix at the helm and all this NFL talent, and the spread was +21 Colorado.
What Dan Lanning said, they play for clicks, we play for wins.
And that game will live in my memory as a sports gambler until the day I die, Brandon. That game will live in infamy for me. So first of all, whenever I see ±21, especially when it's on 21 on the dot, I'm ripping the -21 like this. You guys see this? It's like that. I'm going to tell you why. Indiana is not only destroys them in every category, offensively and defensively.
Yes, you're right.
It's against a strength of schedule that is like not even comparable. So what Maryland has been able to do against the teams that they've beaten versus the teams they're losing to is, I think in this case, will be insurmountable. Indiana -21. If it goes up to 20, I would say if it goes up to 27.5, I'll probably still rock it, and I think it will. Potentially come closer to game time. Maryland is a great team. It's just like you said, they're young.
I know. They're young.
And it's just
man.
I mean, some of these stats are crazy. On third down, they're top 17 in the country. And takeaways, they're third in the country. I mean, the defense is definitely good.
It's insane.
I mean, what Indiana has been able to do against their specific opposition, I mean, they're getting picks in Autzen. You know, that is no easy task, my friend. Indiana, all the way.
Yeah, I hope Mike Loxley is there next year. Even though I was critical about him this past offseason, and he does. You know, his track record shows that this is around the time where he starts to collapse. But man, I just hope that I don't want them. I just want this Maryland program to stay solid. I don't want players leaving. They have a great thing going on.
Do you want like consistent 8-win years? Is that what you're looking for, or like do you want them to compete for like Big Ten title?
One thing at a time.
Okay.
I think
it's a loaded question. It's a loaded question.
Yeah, it is. It is. But no, I do think that next year, I mean, dude, this year almost was the year where they hit that 8-win mark. And then I think next year, with the same, players that they have, continue to develop and grow them. You continue to recruit the way you're recruiting because you got a great class. And I think, people notice that. You do it again the following year, and then the year after, that third year when Malik Washington is his junior, senior year, that, I think could be the year, or should be the year, based on their current trajectory, where they do compete for a Big Ten title.
Okay, yeah. So you just want them to be on the trajectory. You know who else was on the trajectory?
Oh boy. Here he is. He just pulls out the receipts. I go on these fun little soliloquies, and then he just dangles it right in my.
What am I gonna say? I just tell the truth to the podcast. You guys are here for the truth. That's what you want.
That's what I'm here for.
You, okay. Penn State in shambles. SEC gameplay. We have Vanderbilt at Texas. This is such a weird game. Do we have to talk about this game?
All right, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Arch plays. Who are you taking?
Is he?
I'm asking you. If he does, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Texas.
If he doesn't.
I'll take Texas.
Oh.
I'm taking it no matter what here. Here's what I want to ride specifically in this game. I got three big questions. That's the theme of the day. Can Texas get the pass game going? And I think there's kind of like, I've seen it before in college football many times, where someone who is expected to be playing at a certain caliber and is not necessarily doing so, and then a backup comes in and all of a sudden he's playing way better, and they just start going with him. We've seen
Team gets hyped.
We've seen it so many times. Ole Miss just happened at Ole Miss with Austin Simmons. Just happened at Kentucky. I know, so weird. Cutter Boley looks so much better than Calzada did. So I mean, we see this happen all the time. Is that going to happen? Is that the narrative that's going to be of this game? I think. Well, first of all, this game is national spotlight for Vanderbilt. I think a lot of people looked at last week, and they saw that Missouri game, and they saw it as a gritty win, and they grinded that win out, and they did it off the coattails of that rushing offense yet again. They are going to face a really tough Texas team here. Before we get into the last two, tell me, what do you think about this game?
This is the best rushing defense in the league, I think. Best defense in the league. I think that as well. And Vandy's good at, establishing the run. That's how they move down the field. That's how they got their big plays. It's those big breakaway runs, whether it's Pavio or, their running back. And then once they're in the red zone, they know how to operate when they're in there. So you have that aspect. And then on the flip side, you have a Texas team that hasn't been able to establish the run really well. And you have a Vandy defense that is, they're decent when it comes to stopping the run. So what when I look at this game, I see basically it's up to the quarterback. It's up to whoever Texas's quarterback is. It's up to them to win this game.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to shred Vanderbilt's secondary. I think so. And I think that was, and when that Missouri game, Zollers, I mean, he had some throws where he was making great reads and he was able to kind of, get in that rhythm. Now he did look like a freshman at times, but I think he exposed the weaknesses
on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was able to do what he did.
So I am leaning on Texas. I'm leaning on Texas for sure for this game.
Yeah, I think no matter what, I think the story of like, the backup comes in and he's gonna be better. I'm down to ride that narrative too. But I think if Arch plays here too, I've seen enough that, I mean, obviously he didn't look great last week against Mississippi State, and he did get injured, and they looked better when he was out. But I mean, he was looking better. He was looking on the right track. He's back at home. I'm hoping that they can at least, the 3.5 is a little bit scary, but at this point, I'm just going to ride off of that Texas defense. The last two questions I had for this was which team is going to play cleaner. I noticed that both of these teams are pretty awful on penalties. Actually, I think Texas is bottom 10 in the country. Almost 8 penalties a game is insane, actually.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt has almost 7 penalties a game. So who's going to play better? Who's going to play more sound? And then ultimately, who's going to win in the tackle for losses box? I got that as like one of my check boxes here. Texas is awful. They are giving up. They have gotten 50 tackles for loss, but they've given up 53. If you can believe that. And meanwhile,
it's that O-line, man, because I think they count sacks as a tackle for a loss, right? That's negative yards,
yes,
I believe.
Sacks.
So maybe that.
Yeah.
I feel like that includes in that, and that Texas O-line, man, damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
And then on the other hand, you have Vanderbilt, who's been very clean, not allowing a lot of tackle, but they have a great offensive line. They are pushing around like top tier SEC defensive lines too. So Vanderbilt offensive line is no joke, but I think this will be a great match. I think this will be a great matchup. I think over-under's awful. It's like 44.5 points or something like that. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a gritty game.
Over.
Points at a premium. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like Texas. We both like Texas, though, right?
I like Texas, yeah.
Georgia, Florida. Is that a rivalry? This has got to be one of the oldest rivalries all time, right?
Yeah. What was I reading? Oh my God. All right, so I'm going to talk about just like the narratives surrounding this game. There's a couple. Did you know? I read this the other day. Gunnar Stockton, his grandfather, I believe, he had a heart attack in 2010 from the news, and I may be somewhat the story might be a little, not 100% correct, but basically the story on that ESPN posted, he had a heart attack when Florida beat Georgia back in 2010. He had a heart attack. So I think that's going to be on Gunnar Stockton's mind.
Boy.
Now on the Florida side, you had the bye week. You are a team that Georgia, they scouted you this year, but brand new coach. Is it going to look the same? Are you guys going to utilize the same playmakers? Is it going to be a new scheme? So that's going to be interesting to watch too. Both of these teams have these crazy narratives around them.
Yeah.
The spread, I believe, is at 7.5 unless it changed. That's what I saw it at earlier in the week.
It will stay there. I promise you that spread will not shift.
And it's not being played in the Swamp.
Yeah.
It's being played in Jacksonville.
Neutral. Yeah.
Yep, neutral site. Give me Georgia.
Okay. I think that's a respectable pick. I think that's the smart pick here. I think Georgia.
Kirby's smart. It's around this time of the year. I think earlier on in the year he gets these little wins where they're much closer and it's much more sweat, and all that. It's crazy. Earlier on in the year, he's had a couple really nail biters. But around this time, I think this is when he kind of establishes this is Georgia football. Come on.
I think when I looked at this matchup, I thought that first of all, both of Florida, we talked about preseason, they were going to have the hardest schedule no matter what in college football. Yeah. And they are. They're still ranked as number one. I think they're top 5 still in strength of schedule technically, which is crazy to think.
LSU, I believe A&M,
and their strength of schedule is still up there with the big guys. So this is a good matchup. This is let's look at these values right next to each other. There's 3 things that I saw, 3 discrepancies, okay? When Florida gets into the red zone, they are killer. When they get into the red zone, they are top 10 in the country in getting points on the board.
Okay.
Georgia, on the other hand, is top 15 on red zone scoring defense. So this is an elite matchup. The question is, are they going to win that matchup? Is Florida going to get in the red zone? If Florida can get in the red zone, they'll get points on the board. And at the end, they're going to. That's what it'll take to keep this game close. Both of these teams also are not really great at taking the ball away, but I think both of them are really good at giving the ball away. Actually, I didn't realize Georgia is giving the ball away at least once a game, and Florida defense is giving away a ball almost twice a game. I don't know who's going to give away the ball more. I know everyone's thinking Florida right now, but again, we change up the scheme. Maybe we rely on the run a little bit more. You have excellent running back room, and then finally, is Georgia going to be able to get into the backfield? Both of these teams actually not great at getting tackle for losses, and they are also giving up a good amount. So both of them are in the negative for net. That will also heavily shift who wins this game. Who's going to be able to get, put the opposing quarterback into a long down situation. I'm taking Florida here. I'm going to take Florida plus 7.5. I think because of the rivalry. I think because this team is on. Look, this is Florida and Penn State are in the same position, aren't they? They're playing 2 elite teams in their conference.
Yeah. Wow.
And then you have
That's
a 7.5 point spread and a 20.5 point. So I think truly, Florida, show up.
Yeah.
Show up, Florida.
This is huge.
Because
Who's the interim head coach right now?
I have no clue. I have zero clue. I should have looked that up. Honestly, do not know.
Do you think Florida players we don't know? We're just, like I say all the time, we're just fans. But do you think the energy in the Florida locker room is
a long time coming? This is different. Penn State was out of the blue.
No.
This was a long time ago. Billy Napier was one foot out the door for so long. They knew that.
Okay.
The only reason he stayed is.
But are they on some F the season?
Yes.
Or is it more so the team? Or no, but are they on that F it, the season's done, or are they more so on some let's go out there and just come on?
It's both. There's a combination of both. Dude, they lost to South Florida at home. The season was over after that loss. I'm being dead serious. Florida fans know this.
No, you're 100% right.
That season was over.
That was one of the ones that you needed to win.
Yeah, you have to get out of. Are you kidding me? You get that at home, and it's an in-state. You're not,
As
you
an SEC team, you have to win your out-of-conference games.
Florida's the worst team in Florida, is it not? They are the worst team in Florida right now. Think of every team in Florida, even outside. Even UCF is better than this team. I genuinely, Florida is in shambles. And Billy Napier was 1 foot out the door the entire time. So I think they saw it coming. Will they? I mean, I don't.
Will that affect their play?
Yeah, I'm hoping they play with nothing to lose here. I mean, anyway, Florida, come in clutch for me.
Come on.
Oklahoma at Tennessee. This line is doing some weird things too. Weird.
I hate this game.
Yeah, I hate this game.
I don't like this game. It's just a tough one to get a read on. Mateer's still hurt, and I think it's one of those injuries where it doesn't get better if you keep playing. So there's that. He doesn't look like the Heisman frontrunner that we saw earlier on in the year. I don't think he's a bad player. I just think that he's nursing an injury, and I think the offense is trying to find other ways to, move the ball without, putting him in harm's way or making him force a throw that is, uncomfortable for him at this current point. And then on the other side, you got, Joey Aguilar looks great. He looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. They got a great fit over there at Tennessee. I think Josh Heupel is over. That's how you pronounce it, right? Heupel?
Yeah, Heupel.
Heupel, excuse me. Yeah, I think he is, over the moon with the talent that he has right now. He's a great play caller, and he's been, dude, Tennessee has looked great in every single game. Their game against Georgia, they barely lost that game. I'm a fan of this Tennessee team. I think that they are really good at their, at their X's and O's, and they got the Jimmies and Joes. So, with that combination, you're a dangerous team. They are a dangerous team. I like them in this game, but Oklahoma's defense is one of the best in the country. I think Brent Venables is, some people might disagree, but I think he's also playing for his job.
He is.
Like it's about that time.
It's November.
We'll see, man.
This is one of those classic games in November for the SEC where, I look at this game, I see, Tennessee should win this game. Reasonably, they should. They have an excellent passing offense. They have dynamic receivers. They have a quarterback who is willing to sling the ball, And I'm not going to say he's an excellent downfield thrower, but he is very good. He is very, very good. He has amazing wide receivers who will make the play if necessary.
He's just great for that system. He's great for that. He works great.
Yeah. So I don't want to talk about necessarily the point of view of the Tennessee offense. I want to look at the Tennessee defense for a second here.
My red. That's
the
all I'm
Tennessee
saying.
defense is actually atrocious. I'm worried. What I'm most worried about with this defense is that pass defense that has been giving up a disgusting amount of yards, bottom 10 in the country. John Mateer, this might be one of those games where, we saw what Cutter Boley did to the secondary last week. Did we not watch him get like 4 or 5 touchdowns and like 350 plus passing yards? That's Cutter Boley and Kentucky, by the way, guys. This is John Mateer. This guy was formerly in Heisman conversation. Granted, he has not looked the best in weeks of late. With regards to Tennessee defense, that front seven is good. Are they going to get to John Mateer? Do you think this Tennessee defense can get that front seven? Is what's saving them? Honestly, they have crazy takeaways. Their rush defense, they're averaging like their top 25 in yards per rush on defense allowed. Yeah. So that front seven is doing the Lord's work. But are they going to be able to get to John Mateer? I don't think so. I genuinely don't think they're going to be able to get to him because he's a playmaker. He'll make the plays with his feet. And then on top of that, Tennessee is going to have to stop the run. They're going to have to force Mateer to throw. They're going to have to spy him. They're going to have to make sure he doesn't, he's not able to scramble. And then finally, will Oklahoma finally be able to get, to get the turnovers? You know that Oklahoma, as good as that defense is bottom 4 in the country in takeaways? That's crazy. It's the only reason their turnover margin is not good. Over.
They turn the ball over.
They give the ball at least one time a game. But they never that margin needs to be fixed. They need to get turnovers. Joey Aguilar is a gunslinger. If there is ever a time when you're running man and you have some pretty good cornerbacks, maybe they'll be able to create the turnovers.
I know you got talented corners. I know you do. Let them make a play. Play man.
Yeah, play man. Yeah. Oklahoma plus 3.5. What do you got? You got Tennessee?
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay.
You know I love offense.
I know. Mississippi State at Arkansas. Mississippi State at Arkansas. This game is real interesting. I think as of late, Bobby Petrino has made a lot of these games exciting to watch, right?
Yes.
I think a lot of the gambling world has probably had a lot of fun watching Arkansas games because they keep the games close for as much. I mean, they are incredibly volatile to watch, by the way. 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter against Auburn last week. It's difficult for me difficult right now for me to take Arkansas here, but I'm leaning towards Arkansas. It's tough. It's really, really tough. Mississippi State was able to run the table last week against Texas, were they not?
They should have won.
They crumbled. I'm worried that they won't be able to stop Taylor Green like they were able to stop Arch Manning. -4.5 is the line that I had. Actually, let me double check it. Yeah, it's at -4.5. It's going in the favor of Arkansas. I do like that line a lot. I think Taylor Green is super dynamic. I think he's fun as hell to watch. Everyone's going to be rooting for him. And Mississippi State, despite their ability to be able to go the distance with Texas last week, go into overtime, I just don't know if they necessarily can do that on the road. I hope I'm wrong. Make a soundbite of what I'm saying right now on the pod, okay? To all those Mississippi State fans. We did have a couple of Mississippi State fans in our comments because we were both sharing in the misery. I mean, I took Texas. You took Mississippi State, but you wanted them to win, obviously.
Yeah.
But no, this Arkansas team it's on offense. They're too good. They turn every game into a track meet, and I'm not sure if Mississippi State will be able to keep up. So.
That's literally what it is. It's the track meet aspect, and Arkansas is so good at it. And like I said, I love a high-powered offense. They're going to put up points. They're going to be moving the ball nonstop. Taylor Green is electric. He is great for college football. So exciting in the game. Dude, yeah, I'm rocking with Arkansas, like 100%. And you said this was in Arkansas?
Yeah.
Come on.
Bobby Petrino's first win. I mean,
and the fact all the confidence and everything, I feel like this might be a trap. Could be a trap game, but we're Arkansas.
Yeah, I mean, after that heartbreaker last week, it's tough for me to root for Mississippi State because that would have taken the life out of me. I mean, to put that bullets anyway. We talked about it last week. Go tune into the pod. Go listen to the last episode.
Tune in.
Crazy, what a crazy loss. Okay, last quick one for SEC. South Carolina, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is your wagon also this year. Talk to me. Do you think Ole Miss covers?
Wagon, baby. That's my wagon, baby. Yeah, for sure. This team looks so good. They're all so fired up. This team looks so good. This is a top 6 team in college football right now, I believe. I think they're ranked 6th or something like that. And they have the best coach in college football. So I think no, but in all seriousness,
they have the hottest coach in college football.
Yeah. In all seriousness, no, I am very pleased and surprised with the way that they've handled all the noise. That's really tough, especially with a coach as eccentric and outspoken and media friendly and all this. He's making all the appearances. So the fact that you have that kind of guy and with all these rumors swirling around, and he has a history of jumping ship. But to stay focused and keep doing what you're doing, I'm really impressed with this Ole Miss team. Trinidad Chambers just keeps on playing how he's supposed to play. He keeps on winning games. It's so much fun to watch. And unfortunately, I think that South Carolina is just kind of collapsing. They're in that current state right now where it's just tough game after tough game. They can't catch a break. I mean, that Alabama game was tough for them. They had
also
the lead.
A team that had a disgusting schedule too. They had a very, very difficult schedule.
They had a disgusting schedule. I love Beamer. You know that. I feel bad that he's going through what he's going through right now. Hopefully Lenore Sellers does come back next season. I'm going with Ole Miss though.
I did notice that the line opened at 14.5. Ole Miss was favorited, and it's dropped a lot to 11.5 at the time of recording.
Really?
Yeah, it's at 11.5 right now.
Yeah,
So
I would have taken them. I would have taken them at 18.5.
I still love Ole Miss. I love them to cover here. I think South Carolina has a lot of juice because of them being able to go the distance against Alabama last week. But I mean, I'm looking at the matchups right now on my screen. I mean, there is reds across the board for the South Carolina offense, and it is because of that offensive line. I'm just going to be very upfront about it. Their time of possession, their yards per game, third down conversions, rushing, passing are all in the bottom 10 to 15% in the country. And it's very difficult for me to, even 11.5, it's too difficult for me to take that line. So I'll be taking Ole Miss. They're a wagon. They're a wagon.
They're a wagon.
They weren't able to cover against Georgia, but
So sick.
that was a tough game.
Yeah.
That was a tough game.
They should have won.
And it might end up being their only loss this season. It might end up being. Again, another soundbite maybe coming. Let's head over to the ACC.
Let's do it.
Which one do you want to start? You want to start out? I feel like we should do Miami
What
first.
is it? Miami, SMU, and
Yeah,
what was
and
the other one?
Georgia Tech and NC State was the other good one.
Those are both upset.
Let's do Miami.
Matchups. We can start with Miami.
Let's do Miami because the line hasn't changed. 10.5.
What is it at?
They're favored at 10.5 right now. SMU, Kevin Jennings, Rhett Lashley.
At SMU?
Yeah, of course. Otherwise,
Rhett
are you
Lashley,
kidding me?
That's another name to look out for.
Yeah, Rhett Lashley obviously has full control of this program. He's doing a phenomenal job. Do you still have faith in Kevin Jennings right now? Do you still think that he is able to just like win games on his own?
Say like one man?
Yeah.
No. I will say I haven't watched as many of their games this year as I did last year, but I haven't seen anything promising. I haven't seen anything that stands out to me from them. I was hyped about the fact that they got Chris Johnson to transfer over, but it really doesn't seem like they use him that much. Yeah, this game, I'm just looking at the numbers right now.
It's pretty scary. They are.
SMU's defense really isn't as bad as I think most people would think they would be.
They're the second worst
no,
pass defense in the country, but that's the glaring
red
issue.
Zone scoring.
They are
rush
first
yards
in the
a game.
country in takeaways a game.
Exactly.
First in the country.
I think they're one of those teams that gives up a lot, but they also are able
Third,
to.
they will bend but not break. Third
Yeah.
in the country in red zone defense.
Thank you. Yeah.
Third in the country.
Yeah.
Ninth in the country in yards per rush on defense for the run game. I mean, they have the pieces. But this is I am so sorry. This is a Miami team. This is a team that they really fumbled really bad against Louisville, and they need to run the table the rest of the way through. This team has no choice. Miami has to win out. And what they did against Stanford last week, it was shaky because they started off, they were down by a touchdown. All of a sudden, they weren't playing very well. But they absolutely destroyed the second half. They made the right, I mean, they looked good. This looked back. They went back to that championship team that I saw earlier this season. SMU defense they're great in a lot of aspects, but I think because some of the pieces are so vulnerable, and this is a team with so much talent. Kadarius Toney, that's his name, right?
That was the wide receiver for the
for Miami, right?
Oh, Malachi Tony. Malachi Tony.
Oh my God, Kadarius, awful. Do not mix
another
him up
Florida
with
legend, though.
Okay,
another
yeah,
Florida
true.
Legend. Come on.
I mean, this guy Malachi Tony is a monster, and he's a freshman. And he's destroying secondary, so give him the ball. Against this is the second worst pass defense.
Let your playmakers win you the game.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing crazy. We saw, what was the reason they lost against Louisville?
I mean, they tried to force the downfield throw too much. That's what it was.
Dude.
Yeah.
Four
that's
picks?
what it was. It was just so weird. The throws looked weird. I don't know. Why are you even taking that? Malachi Tony's a beast, but throwing into triple coverage against him?
I think that game, as much as I always say, Miami collapses, they do this every year, blah, 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 blah. I think that game was needed for the squad a bit,
That's what I'm saying.
just wake them up.
Yeah.
It was needed. But I do think it also did show a lot of the flaws with this team. If they're able to not make those boneheaded decisions and not just force the ball deep downfield, whether it was the coaching decision or just Carson Beck, making the read and deciding to launch it. That's going to be how they win this game, I think. It's just don't turn over the ball, play your game how you've been playing it. You have so many playmakers on both sides of the ball. Just depend on them.
Yeah.
But I do think Carson Beck is going to goof at least once in this game.
Yeah.
So I like the SMU spread.
Okay. All right, I'm going to rock with Miami. I think Miami is sound enough that they can cover this.
But I agree. I think Miami does win. I think SMU barely covers, but I do. What'd you say, 10.5?
They're at 10.5, yeah.
I could see it being a 10-point loss.
Yeah.
Like I think
Easily.
that's going to be the case.
Yeah, and SMU will get points. They get points. At the very least, they will get points. Okay, Georgia Tech at NC State. This is a weird game. This is a really weird game.
Haynes King is like
you know me.
The guy. That's your guy.
Yeah, you know me and my relationship with Georgia Tech. It's real difficult because Georgia Tech is a wagon too, a little bit in their own way. I mean that's why they're 8-0, right? 7-0, 8-0. I don't want to misspeak.
Damn, they're undefeated. I forgot. Yeah, that's
the
crazy.
ACC is low key going to be in shambles at the end of the year because whoever they allow into
they have to give like 3 spots.
Yeah, some of these teams are going to have to lose. That's what it feels like. The decision needs to be made for them. NC State is an interesting matchup to this team. I think, and I think that's Vegas kind of knew that too because there's only 6.5 point spread. The biggest things that I saw on NC State's side is how effective they are in the red zone. And how well they can get their rush game going despite not needing to rush a lot because they have the ability to throw the ball. So they can move the ball on offense very dynamically. It's just not necessarily on defense. They're not great. They're good in the red zone. Pretty much everything outside of that, you're going to be in the bottom 50% of the country. I do have faith that this NC State team will be able to keep it close with Georgia Tech. And I think if Georgia Tech has had a lot of close games, I mean, for the record, if Duke doesn't fumble at the 1 yard line, if they don't play as sloppy as they did, they probably win that game handily. Georgia Tech was like held to nothing. 7 of their points was on that 99-yard fumble return. I think this team has gotten away with them and UVA, 2 teams in the ACC. They've been getting away with a lot. I'm going to take NC State on the spread here. I think they have enough tools to at least keep them in the game offensively. I don't know if they'll be able to stop Haynes King defensively. Again, maybe if they can get them to the red zone and not give up big plays. But, we'll knock on wood, and I think that's going to take a little bit of a miracle. What do you got this game?
Yeah, this one's a tough one. This one's definitely like up in the air for sure. I know NC State has that really good tight end. I believe his name is Justin Jolly. I think he's active, should be active for this game, which will be huge for them. Yeah, I mean, pretty much like Georgia Tech's a very good team, but they're very consistent. And I think if you're able to, which nobody has, if you're able to kind of knock them off their identity, get them questioning it a bit, make them not run the ball all the time, then you have a chance of winning. Now, I haven't seen anybody do that. I don't know if the NC State defense is capable of doing that. I don't think they're capable of doing that. So with that, I am going to lean on Georgia Tech.
Okay. Wow. We are going against each other on pretty much all these picks. Okay, let's head over to the Big 12. I'm going to start with Cincinnati at Utah. This is college game day morning, guys.
Is it?
Yes.
It's a good matchup.
It should have been at the shoe, but obviously here we are.
Yeah.
Not a great slate of games, but again, this is awesome. I mean, Utah has an excellent fan base, and it's a heavy spread. Open at 7.5. It's at 10.5 now. Utah's favored at home. Yeah, I know.
I mean, you guys heard me in the last pod how they just annihilated Colorado. Just finished them, just pooped on their face.
Completely different league. Completely different league.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think that. Do we know if Dampier plays? I know that the freshman looked really good.
Dampier is. He's probable. I want to say he's probable.
He was suited up on the sideline, so I want to say that he should be playing. Yeah, this is an interesting game. I saw Josh Pate. He had Utah in his poll ranked at 3rd, I believe. They're in like the top 5. They're a great team, man. I mean, look, I'm looking at the numbers that you pulled up right now. I mean, they
on offense and defense. on offense
top
and
15
defense.
in so many categories on offense, and then the categories that they're not top 15 in, they're like a top 25, top 50 team. Like they're very capable on both sides, and then their defense is one of the best in the country. Sorsby has had his moments. He has looked good for sure. But I also think he has his lapses. I think the Cincinnati offense doesn't have enough on their side of the ball to compete consistently throughout this game with the Utah team. And I think the Utah offense, they just have too much for the Cincinnati team to handle. I think Cincinnati's going to have their hands full this game on both sides of the ball. Utah, 10.5. They can keep moving it.
Yeah, Utah 7th in the country in tackle for losses. 14th, but also 7th in net tackle for losses. That's positive versus negative. What I see here is I just see a defense that completely overwhelms Brendan Sorsby. Even if he is able to find the end zone a few times, I understand they have a crazy red zone offense, crazy rushing game because of how dynamic he is with his legs. But there is too many problems. There's too many issues with the Cincinnati defense that Utah will be able to expose. And I'm worried that Cincinnati won't be able to keep up offensively. And even if they are, again, Brandon Sorsby having a crazy 20 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, that's absurd. But even if Devin Dampier plays, even if their backup plays for Utah, Ficklin, I think was his name. I love them both. I love this offense with both of them at the helm. They will keep the time of possession. They're 28th in the country in time of possession, and Cincinnati is one of the worst team, if not the worst, in the country in time of possession. If that is not indicative of how this game will go. But yeah, so I'm taking Utah minus 10.5. I'll take it even if it goes up to minus 13.5, and it probably will by game time. You like the pick too, right? We're rocking it together?
Yeah.
Go Utes. Go freaking Utes, dude.
I'm with you too. I'm taking that thing up to 17.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like that's how much faith I have in this Utah team. They are so damn good.
Yeah. Clip it. Okay, last game. Only because it has a funky line. Texas Tech minus 7.5 at Avery Johnson.
Yeah.
But I'm not even gonna say K-State because it's Avery Johnson. Let's be honest with each other.
It's Avery Johnson. That's his team.
It's his team. So this is a funky.
Do we know
line.
what the injuries are? Are there injuries?
Baron Morton's back, but Will Hammond, the backup, tore his ACL in last week's game against Oklahoma State. So if Baron Morton gets injured, they're kind of SOL a little bit.
They're pooped. Yeah.
Which is great because I took them to win the Natty. It's so weird that this line opened up at 6.5 and it got pushed up to 7.5. I think Texas Tech for me is a wagon. I'm going to take them no matter what. But I don't know. I even still, I'm going to think out loud here. I've seen enough of Avery Johnson to know that I don't have confidence, despite their amazing showing last week, defensively and offensively.
No, I don't have confidence.
It was a rivalry game. Guys, that's an in-state rivalry. There's crazy things that happen in those games. I still do not have confidence. I haven't seen enough consistency from him to be able to reasonably say that he'll put up a fight against what I think is one of the best, if not the best defense in the country. No disrespect to Ohio State, but this Texas Tech Frankenstein of a defense is terrifying.
Number 1 in rushing yards a game. Number 1 in yards, or like this is. And by the way, this real quick before you continue, this calculator, this thing that we're looking at right now, it will be available to the public soon enough. That is under construction right now.
Yes, we're still working it. It's got a little bit of a little kink, so we don't want to show it off yet.
We're getting there though. Soon enough.
Yeah, well, we're data guys, so we love like just throwing numbers onto sheets and trying to analyze them. Texas Tech overall is more sound on defense, and I think defense will win games when it comes to Big 12. I mean, especially in the Big 12, where everyone has a powerhouse offense. It's just every team in the Big 12 does in some way, shape, or form. So Texas Tech offensively, obviously they look great. I think across the board, rushing, they're top 25 in the country. Passing, they're top 15 in the country. In takeaways, they're top 15 in the country. In tackles for losses, they're top 50 in the country too. Sorry, did I say top 50? I meant to say top 15 in the country.
1-5, gentlemen.
1-5. I don't know. I think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for Kansas State to stop them defensively.
You said it was 7.5?
Vegas might know something we don't. Something is weird. Something is weird. But I will say, if there's a team that covers every week, despite all the money being on them, it's Texas Tech.
Wagon.
They're a wagon. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna close it up. I spilled water all over all my shit right before this episode. So yeah, things are a little bit gross. We want to thank you guys for tuning in on this spicy, scary Halloween episode. I hope you learned a thing or two. Maybe. You're gonna ride? Are we doing anything this weekend? By the way, we're not doing anything for Halloween, are we?
No, I don't have anything planned.
Yeah.
Spooky Saturday. We're watching the games.
Yeah, I need to wake up first thing in the morning and begin my process. I have this whole process on how I watch college football. So, you guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. We hope you tune in for the Sunday after episode that's coming out after week 10. Let's hope we get some crazy upsets. Let's knock on some wood. Let's cross our fingers.
For the pod.
We
need it.
We need to talk
for you
about
guys.
something fun. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you all later.
I'm a fan. He's a fan. And this is a pod.
Yeah. Two fans with one.